Hello Internet, I am the Hero of Helios once again with another One Piece chapter summary. This week's chapter is chapter 1025, Twin Dragons. The art for this week is a picture of Usopp telling a octopus about his adventures, regaling these two little bird news reporters as I guess this is a team set up together to tell the story of the great Captain Usopp. You even see Usopp with the beard and the big hat and all that, and you actually see in the background the octopus writing this down. I think he's aware that maybe it's just some lies, but without further ado, let's get into the chapter itself. It's actually on the shorter side when it comes to the amount of things to talk about this week, but it's because it is setting things up, and it's always nice to have a little breather before a big event happens or after one. Like, for example, all the Toby Roppo that just got defeated. We're decompressing. We're just having a little comedic moment. But we do learn some new things. The chapter starts off with Luffy and Momonosuke, and Momo is refusing to fly, claiming that he's already high up enough as it is due to being in a big draconic form. His eye is probably a good 10 or 15 feet above where his child body was. So imagine Momo afraid of heights, and now that is your default view. So Luffy obviously is having none of this. You just see the Heart Pirates and Shinobu are just sort of standing around they don't exactly know what to do with themselves right now, as Luffy is berating this child stuck in a man's body now, and eventually they will take off, as we'll see later in the chapter. But for the most part, we're focusing on Kaido's fight with Yamato still, as Kaido is berating her for standing like a soldier of Wano, when deep down she knows that she's the daughter of Kaido, and that this is the man who killed Odin, and death follows. She even responds with, "I have friends," and then thinks about Ace and is like, "Well, I had friends." And Kaido tells her, "Yeah, you had Ace, you had the guys in the cave, you had all the people who helped you as you were growing up, and what happened to all of them? They're all dead. That is the destiny of our people. You can't have friendship. It always results poorly. They don't like us. They fear us. They have to fear us. That is your fate, Yamato. That is the destiny of the ogre." They use ogre in the Viz translation, but that roughly translates to Oni in Japan, which ends up being the demon people. So it's more or less confirmed that the big horns and the superior durability that Kaido and Yamato share mostly comes from the fact that they are both demons. And as demons, it's at least instilled into Kaido's mind that you'll never truly have people who love and care for you. You will always have to be feared. Whereas Yamato is fighting against this mentality. And the fight actually gets rather brutal. Kaido shows this surge of anger we haven't seen yet, and wallops Yamato just into the ground. It's pretty rough, and we cut away before it gets before it gets too bad. But the only other half of this chapter really is just this amazingly great comedy bit of Momonosuke finally gets up into the air, but much like SpongeBob SquarePants driving, he can only do it with his eyes closed. So you just see Momo just flailing around in the air, and Luffy's like, "Down there, Momo! Down there, it's Onigashima!" And he goes, "Oh, down there? Okay." And he turns, and Luffy's like, "No, no, no, that's the roof!" And they burst in to the live floor as Sanji and Zoro and King and Queen are going at it, and they look up, and Sanji's like, "What the heck?" And Queen's like, "Oh my god, 2 dragons!" And Zoro goes, "Wait, is that Luffy?" And King goes, because King just... King is... It's hard to read this guy. I'm glad we know what King is now, but now we need to know what is a Lunarian. Are they all this super serious, or is King super serious because last of my people kind of thing? The bloodline dies with me. It's interesting. But now that it's revealed that Kaido is an Oni and King is a Lunarian, if you include giants, I believe this covers the three races missing from Big Mom's family. She doesn't have the giants because of childhood stuff that happened with her. She doesn't have Oni because I'm gonna guess Kaido is last of his kind. This might mean that Yamato, well, age-wise it doesn't line up that Yamato is Big Mom's kid, so Linlin might want Kaido or Yamato by the end of this storyline, and then finally Lunarians with King. So that's just an interesting side note that hit my brain while recording right now, actually. It's something that we'll have to touch on maybe after Onigashima, or if Big Mom and Kaido ever reunite on the battlefield. Anyways, Luffy is smashing through with Momonosuke left and right. They're going through all of Onigashima. They're taking out, walls and structures. And meanwhile, you see down at, or back up at Kaido and Yamato, Kaido's like, huh. Sounds like Linlin's doing a number down there. I'm gonna have to remodel the place when we're done. Anyways, I gets ready to go fight Yamato again, and that's when he notices behind her. You actually see Yamato standing there, ready to fight, ready to stand up against Kaido, and then you just see Momonosuke just sort of like wiggling in the background until he finally locks eyes. He sees, Luffy points out there's Kaido. Momo shifts into like, okay, let's do this. He goes down there. Luffy's with him. Kaido's like, what the heck, Straw Hat? You're supposed to be dead. And who the heck is this dragon? And Luffy goes, you can't kill me. I'm going to be king of the pirates. And Momonosuke goes, yeah, and I'm going to be the shogun of Wano. And that's when Kaido immediately turns into his dragon form, looks Momo in the eye, and says, there's only room on this planet for one dragon. So that's where the chapter comes to an end. We get a really cool shot of Luffy and Yamato both hitting Kaido. I'm sure that wasn't a super hard hit. It didn't look like Luffy was using his Conqueror's Haki. It looks like it was just a regular Gear 4th attack. But the two of them hitting Kaido at the same time is very satisfying. And now that I know more about Yamato, I know more about her past, I know more about why she fights so hard for all of Wano. The only last thing I need to know is, why is Onigashima itself, why is Wano as a whole so important to Kaido? That's really the only Kaido-Wano question I have left. I would like to know more about the Oni race, but I'm going to guess either we'll learn more about that during the Kaido fight or when we finally meet Vegapunk. Those are my two guesses. But that is the end of the chapter. We have no new chapter next week, so, I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next chapter summary. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.